Is it possible for all the people in a country to come and sit together every day and take collective decisions? It is neither possible nor necessary for people to govern themselves directly as everyone does. They do not have the time and knowledge to take decisions on all matters. Therefore, elections are necessary to choose the people's representatives. In representative democracies, people rule through these elected representatives. Today, let us see what is our system of elections. How are elections conducted in India? In our country, we follow the area-based system representation. For the purpose of election, the country is divided into different areas known as electoral constituencies. For the Lok Sabha elections, the country is divided into 543 such electoral constituencies. The voters who are living in a constituency elect one representative. For example, Meghalaya has two constituencies, namely Tura and Shillong. In the last general election, the people of Shillong constituency elected Mr. Vincent Pala as their MP to represent them in the Lok Sabha, the lower house of our parliament, and Ms. Agatha Sangma was elected to represent the people of Tura constituency as Member of Parliament. In the same way, each state is divided into a number of assembly constituencies. Voters of each assembly constituency elect a representative known as Member of Legislative Assembly or MLA. Each parliamentary constituency has within it several assembly constituencies. Our constitution maker feared that certain weaker sections may not have resources, education, and contact to get elected in an open electoral competition. This would make our democracy less representative and less democratic, as the weaker sections may not get a chance to be elected to the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies. So, there is a special system of reserve constituencies where only scheduled tribes or scheduled castes can contest in elections. Currently, there are 84 seats reserved for scheduled castes and 47 seats reserved for scheduled tribes for the Lok Sabha election in proportion to the share of their population. Now, let us see what are the stages of election process. Number 1. Voters list updation. All the citizens who are 18 years and above, regardless of caste, religion, gender, rich or poor, educated or not educated, are eligible to vote. The list of voters, officially called the electoral roll, is updated by adding all members who have attained 18 years and by deleting those who are dead or have moved out of a place. Number 2. Nomination of candidates. Every person with a minimum age of 25 years who wishes to contest an election files nomination, either as independent candidate or through nomination by a political party by filling up a nomination form with security deposit. Each candidate has to give full details of number 1. Serious criminal cases pending against the candidate if any, details of assets and liabilities of the candidate and his or her family, and education qualification of the candidate. This information is made public so that the voters can make their decisions to choose the right candidate. The candidates can also withdraw their nomination within the time stipulated by the Election Commission. Number 3. Election campaign. In this stage of the election process, the candidates organize mass rallies, contact their voters, address election meetings. All the candidates and their political parties canvass for votes. They do the campaign by raising matters of public issues, government policies, and give slogans. For example, in 1971, the Indian National Congress successfully used the slogan of Garibi Hatao, which means remove poverty. The Janata Party saved democracy in 1977, and the Left Front Land to the Tiller in West Bengal Assembly elections in 1977. During the electioneering process, the candidates have to follow certain model code of conduct which do not allow them to use bribe, threat, caste or religion, government resources, and restrict the expenditure to maximum of rupees 25 lakhs in the constituency for the Lok Sabha election and rupees 10 lakhs in a constituency in an assembly elections. Number 4. Polling. This is the day of casting votes by the voter for the candidates of their choices. This day is also called as Election Day. All the voters whose names feature in the electoral roll and verified by the election officials can cast their votes. An agent of each candidate is allowed to sit inside the polling booth to ensure that the voting takes place in a fair way. Number 5. Counting of votes. A few days after the polling day, on a fixed date, the counting of votes is carried out. The agents of all the candidates are allowed to witness the process of counting of votes to ensure that the counting is done properly and not manipulated. Number 6. Announcement of results. The counting of votes usually takes place on the same day at the same times. Television channels, radio, and news portals report the results of all the constituencies and the trend in all the constituencies. With the full declaration of the results, it becomes clear as to which party or which coalition will form the next government. Let's do an evaluation exercise. Arrange the following stages of election process in sequential order. Number 1. Election campaign. Number 2. Nomination. Number 3. Counting of votes. Number 4. Voters list updation. Number 5. Polling. Number 6. Announcement of results. Number 7. Notification. And number 8. Withdrawal of nomination. The correct sequential order are: Number 1. Voters list updation. Number 2. Notification. Number 3. Nomination. Number 4. Withdrawal of nomination. Number 5. Election campaign. Number 6. Polling. Number 7. Counting of votes. Number 8. Announcement of results. In our next episode, we will see what makes an election democratic and analyze whether or not the elections in our country is democratic and the challenges to free and fair elections.